Hello, listeners. Welcome to Stumbling Towards the Eschaton for Sunday, January 31st. I'm here with myself, Nick, and on the other side of the table, I have the mighty man, also known as...
Pastor Mike, good day, one and all.
Yeah. And so, this is a pretty interesting reading. It's about a wedding, if you want to further talk about that, Pastor.
Well, it's if anybody's been to a wedding and there's a scripture reading, like 9 out of 10 times they pick this like Corinthians text. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. It goes on. It has the good line. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoice in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And it goes on and on. You've heard that at weddings, right?
Yep.
I get it so often as a pastor. I just want that one reading. You mean this one? Yeah, how'd you know? Because everybody requests it.
It's true.
Do you want to know the dirty secret about this passage?
Sure. I'm scared now.
It has nothing to do with weddings.
I was gonna say. I was like, it's the wedding passage, but it doesn't mean...
Well, because, I mean, it's Paul's writing to a church that's having issues. I mean, they're struggling with what it means to be community and all these other sorts of things. And so it's not like he's, like, writing to these two people, like, we're going to get married. What advice would you give us? Well, let me write an entire book of the Bible for you.
I mean, that'd be an awesome wedding gift.
That would
I'm
be
just
great.
saying.
I'm going to add a book to the faithful scriptures for you and your wedding. Jesus made a miracle.
I thought you were gonna say Jesus made America, and I was like, all right.
Jesus did make America.
We have facts here.
With blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah. He built this country from the ground up.
Just read the Book of Mormon. Oh, no offense to our Mormon listeners. Like, we have probably a ton of those.
Yeah. I like 10 listeners here. You know?
And half
they're all
of them are
Mormon. Yeah.
Oh, he's picking on the Mormons again. Pretty soon he's going to start talking about caffeine.
Caffeine? You mean like...
Like, Mormons are supposed to have caffeine.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, but back to this topic. So it's this great text, and it's all about... Love. And it even ends with those great lines. And now, faith, hope, and love abide. These three, and the greatest of these is love. Now, this is a hugely important passage. Not for weddings. Yeah, you can apply it to a one-on-one relationship.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is... Holy cow. I'm losing my gourd because this is such an important passage. My gourd is gone. No more squash.
There it goes. It's gone. See you later. All right.
If I had my gourd back. Sorry. I apologize to everyone. I'm punchy tonight. But it's this general way of how love needs to be guiding principles in all of our relationships.
Yeah.
All of them. And I mean, let's be straight up honest. Do you ever watch the TV?
Sometimes.
Do you ever watch the YouTube?
Oh, yes, I do.
Do you ever go on the Facebook? Because I just like writing direct articles today.
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes the Facebook. Didn't Justin Timberlake say drop the?
Drop the.
Wasn't that in the weird? Okay, I'm everywhere, man. But what is it? Wasn't the movie about Mark Zuckerberg or something? Wasn't Justin Timberlake in it or something?
I haven't seen it in a while.
I've never seen it, so I'm just making things up. For all I know, Jimmy Fallon was in it and played a ninja.
Clearly it's Adrian Brody. Come on.
Adrian Brody. It was Lou Ferrigno as Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, come on.
I'm gonna make a social network.
It was Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. Jeez Louise. Zac Efron.
But
yeah, go on.
I feel like with it being to love, it can tie into all different things. Like, you can't have... your relationships can't all be, like, with fear or just out of respect. You have to have that kind of compassion towards anything. Even with your relationship with God. You don't love God out of fear. You love God out of compassion and how he's a good guy.
Well, bingo. And what he has done to show love, death, resurrection, all of these gifts, all of these sorts of things, it grounds us in love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the lack of it is important for our culture right now because we lack it so much in many ways. If we look at 90% of the interactions on these sorts of things, there is grounded in something so foreign to anything that's talked about in Scripture. It's this grounding almost of wanting to be right. That the whole point is that I want to be right. And even then, we self-choose these relationships And it's all about what do I get out of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's this dangerous and weird phenomenon. You know what I mean? And not to be mean, sometimes Christians are like these number one proponents for not loving people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're like, here's all these reasons for me to not do this or not like this person or to judge them and do all these sorts of things.
Yeah.
And I mean, Paul lays it out great. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels but do not have love, I'm a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, if I have all faith as to remove mountains but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all of my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast but do not have love, I gain nothing. Dude lays it out so well. Mm-hmm. All right, so you're this genius. You're going to quote me all the scripture in original Greek. That's awesome. You know it left and right. You, in fact, can, bust out of your shirt like Superman, these sorts of things. But if you don't love people, Paul's saying it don't matter.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have lost that. I mean, look at our presidential debates. I don't care what side you're on, man. Everybody's concerned about being right and tearing everybody down.
Mm-hmm.
Don't matter. It ain't your thing. You're just an idiot, and I should be president because I'm awesome and I like chocolate more than you. You know?
I mean, that's the deciding factor.
Who loves chocolate the most?
You see, that's the thing the presidents have to go for, is they have to think of what everyone likes, and then they'll be like, I like that too. And then everyone will just,
woo! You like denim shirts? I love denim shirts.
You like the 7th episode of Star Trek? I like the 7th episode of Star Trek.
That should be your platform.
Yeah.
Vote Nick Bilas, The Force Awakens. You're right. The Force has awakened, and I should vote for Nick Bilas.
Yeah.
Nick Bilas for constitutional governor of the U.S. That isn't even a thing.
I mean, you can have that. There we go. No one's running against you.
Force Awakens.
And it'll just be me. They'll be like, Nick gonna be like, Force Awakens, and I'll just shout that at them.
They're like, it's such a good movie. He's the right president. How old are you?
Yeah.
Not 35, right?
Yeah, not 35.
Shoot! Foiled by that. Dear Disney and George Lucas, release the next movie after I turn 35. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks.
Why? This makes no sense.
Yeah. I get to see them just reading this and I'm like, what? And then for some reason they have 7 other ones that are also just different names. So everyone's asking for them. They're like, why is everyone asking for this?
Bic Nihilus.
Yeah, Bic Nihilus.
That's a little too close to Nick.
Yeah. But they're like, eh.
I guess you like shaving.
Yeah.
Oh, but it is such a powerful passage because it reminds us and grounds us in that huge thing. I mean, and the church has to. I mean, we had parishioners, man, that have had to move, and they've had a rough go finding a church that's loving and accepting and compassionate. And it's been killer even on me just to see all these Christians being like, well, we love everybody, but, they're not right for us. They're not good.
Well, that's how our struggle was with my family when I was growing up trying to find a church. Because we went to Mount Zion in Chicago Ridge when I was a little baby. And we went there. We moved to Ingleside. And then we tried different churches around there. And then we're just like, all these suck. They don't, they're not what we need.
Please tell me that when you left the door.
Yeah, we were just like, guys, suck. And then we went a few years without going, and then we went to Mount Zion again because that's the cool place. And then the pastor there that was there the whole time, she left, and then that's when now we're here.
Yeah.
And now this is a cool place. I recommend it. Put that stuff on Yelp, 10 out of 10. You see, this big selling point is pastor's got a beard. That's how you get all the hipsters.
Did you honestly bring up Yelp?
I bring up Yelp.
This is going to be the weirdest tangent ever, but 2 nights ago I had the weirdest dream ever, and it involves Yelp.
What?
So I'm giving a sermon, and I think it's awesome, but I look out there, and on the left side, and I can't remember if it was 10:30, 9 o'clock service, Benedict Cumberbatch is sitting in the back pew. And I'm like, what is Benedict Cumberbatch doing here? And I was like, you can't yell Sherlock. You can't just yell that out in the middle of your sermon. Wanted to yell Sherlock. This is a dream, by the way. Okay. Benedict Cumberbatch did not actually come. I'm butchering his name, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But so the thing was done, but dude snuck out the back. Next day, we have a horrible Yelp review from Benedict Cumberbatch. I got totally rolled by Sherlock on Yelp was my dream. It was the weirdest dream ever. But the fact that you brought up Yelp, I just had to share that.
That's a great dream.
No, it's not. You know how bad it feels to have Sherlock totally roll you on Yelp?
You see, my dreams are either I don't remember or they're Godzilla related.
That is pretty awesome.
Like all of them. And it's not like it's really weird. One of my latest ones that I had was I was at school and my buddy John, he was Godzilla. Like it just completely like just nothing was different. Everyone knew that he was Godzilla, and it was just accepted that he was just. I'm just like, hey John. He was like, bah!
It's a very accepting school.
Yeah, it's very. Everyone's allowed here.
We allow gigantic monsters from Japanese film.
Yeah,
it's really awesome, you guys, man.
Yeah,
because love, bringing it full circle.
Yeah, there we go, full circle.
Bringing it full circle, because it's about love. And I mean, I'm glad you guys have done that, because one of the things that I've always tried to do as a pastor is that it's all about you got to be compassionate, you got to love people where they're at. And I mean, the passage lays it out. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. What? Not in America? Well yeah. You kind of got to follow the words there. It's not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. It's not easy. It's not about being right. But it's that hard thing of saying, I need to be compassionate to somebody, even if I disagree with them, even if I think they're wrong, and show them care. We've lost that. I usually don't like to rag, but I honestly think the church at large has lost that deep call from Paul. And I mean, he was writing it to a church that was having problems. And he's like, the key thing you need to do is to love each other. But we're mad at each other. Yeah, I'm aware, Hoss. Ain't my first rodeo. This is the key thing. I'm getting repetitive, but it's such an important reality that we forget.
And I guess, too, it's the people don't like to admit that they're wrong, you know, and they're just like, I don't want to say I'm sorry first. Come on, I don't care about being the bigger man. I want to be right.
Well, seriously, does anybody do anything wrong anymore? You don't actually apologize in the media. You explain it away. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as football interviews. I mean, it's almost like rote. Like, yeah, there were serious circumstances that were unfortunate that taken place. We're going to work our best to make sure it doesn't happen in the future. I'm like, you poisoned everybody in Flint, Michigan. Like, what the heck, man? Mm-hmm. Well, you know, it was unforeseen events. Really? Have you seen the river that you're pulling out of the water from? Unforeseen? It was unforeseen that lava burned a good portion of the people it touched. It's lava.
We have fun here at Stumbling Towards the Eschaton.
Oh, I'm punching it. I just got done with confirmation. That always does that, man. Those kids are awesome, but they're wild.
Let's see. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Office Troll. Yeah, Office Troll had a brand new idea, and Pastor Mike has a little chat pack thing on his little shelf.
No, let's do it. Let's do it.
And chat pack is random question, and chat pack music go.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Alrighty. Pastor Mike, if for your next birthday someone offered to make you the ultimate dessert of your choice, what great concoction would you request? Be specific.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I would specifically request this. A sugar-free, because I am a diabetic. This is the most killer question for me. It's like any dessert ever. AKA death on your birthday. I want to die. I want to die. But I will do sugar-free. Yet it's concocted in such a way that it does not taste sugar-free. As I like to call it, the chemical nasty taste that you can only get from sugar-free.
Yeah.
It would be, I can only pick one?
You can only pick one.
All right, it will be this. It will be a peanut butter cream pie. You know those?
Okay.
You know those? They're like the French silk pies.
Yeah.
But they're like peanut butter ones. Sometimes they even have the Reese's peanut butter cups on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baker Square makes them balls. That's what I do.
All right.
What's your dessert?
Well, I've told you about it before.
No,
and
what?
My girlfriend has yet to make it for me because she's a mean. It is a Skittles cake.
Oh, you've mentioned Skittles cake, yes.
Skittles cake is great. I don't know if you guys know if this is your first thing. Office Troll? Office Troll. Office Troll is He's trying to take up a call right now, and Pastor Mike just smacked the phone out of his hand.
Oh, it's troll. All right, what? Skittles. Tell me about the Skittles thing.
So it's a vanilla cake, and it has Skittles like crushed and baked into it, and like it's at the top of it, and then it's lined with Kit Kats. It looks amazing.
Oh my gosh, Kit Kats. Yeah, kill the diabetic, man. Kill the diabetic. Yeah.
That's how if you ever get invited to a party, Pastor Mike, you're not wanted if they have no sugar-free anything.
Well, I don't go out and be like, I'm a diabetic. Can I come to your party?
Be like, is there gonna be a sugar-free birthday cake alternative for the people who have diabetes?
Is there gonna be some low carb options here for my blood sugar levels? This is a potato chip flan club. Do you have any low carb? No, they don't exist.
Oh man, do you have sugar-free marshmallows?
Do you have sugar-free sugar? Here's just some trivia set in a corner.
Yeah, here's just trivia. You're just nibbling the package. You didn't even have it open.
Yeah, no, and sugar-free stuff, man. You got to be careful with that.
And this has been a very weird tangent we have gone off to. So, how is the church doing, Pastor Mike?
It's doing good. I mean, I think our congregation is doing good with love. I mean, when we do stuff with Hesed House, when we do all those other sorts of things, we, I think, have really kind of doubled down and done a good job on some of these sorts of things. And maybe that is, you like to do homework. I'll throw one out a little bit early before we end. What are some ways that we can show more love in our relationships? You know what I mean? And in other people. Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean? And I can even give heads up. Listen to understand, not to argue. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Sometimes people listen to argue.
Yeah.
And to prove wrong. But listening to understand is sometimes more important. One of my favorites is also Luther. I've talked about the dude before, but his exposition of the Eighth Commandment is to also view your neighbor's deeds in the best possible light. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So is there another reason why they're doing this? You know, is there a reason that they might be doing this? Could they be scared? Could they be worried and they're reacting wrong out of it? I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people have more fear issues. And we don't treat them with love, we treat them with hate, which just increases more of the fear, more of the frustration, more of the worry, and more of the anger. Mm-hmm. But it's a hard homework assignment, but it's key. And I tell you what, it's a good text, though. I will tell you this. Not a lot of people are in church, but then they do. It's often for weddings. So Lord willing, the creek don't rise, they can hear something in there for them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That is the hope.
See, I can't wait till to make the New Testament, the Neo-New Testament.
Neo-New Testament?
I'm just saying, because I think that would be quite the adventure to see. Because if the end of the New Testament is the end of the world, they have to start it with the Neo-New world. And it's just like, there'd be mechs, everybody, giant robots.
You've been watching more post-apocalyptic... I can't talk. You've been watching some post-apocalyptic movies, haven't you?
I've been playing post-apocalyptic stuff.
The post-zombie testament or something.
Yeah, the post... There we go.
Pastor, what does the Bible say about zombies? Nothing.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah!
That's one of my favorite things, is to be like, why do all the other religions get the cool monsters?
What are you talking about?
Like, freaking the Greeks, all of them, they get the giant monsters.
Their monsters are lame. The Nemean lion, the Chalcedonian boar, or whatever it was.
I mean...
It's a boar.
It's all about the Nordic monsters.
Oh, yeah.
They have the cool ones.
Those are pretty wild. Book of Revelation's got some crazy, like, 7-headed dragons with horns that talk.
I mean, why would you want talking horns?
You know, I've never understood that one. Yeah. And the small horn was arrogant and talked. I'm like, what does that mean?
It's just like... Meow, meow, meow.
Your other horns are lame. I'm the best horn.
That'd be great. They're like, guys, he's looking at us again. And, like, it's the horn. Like, they don't even have eyes. I want to imagine how that dragon feels to just constantly have to listen to bickering. And he's just like, oh, my God.
It's the apocalypse, and the dragon's all depressed.
Yeah, he's just the most bummed out guy, because, like, he could be immortal, and he just has to live with that.
We have hit some of the top 10 tangents today.
I think that's pretty good.
Uh,
And I think that tangent is a good note to end this episode of Stumbling.
Oh, yes. Brothers, sisters, keep on loving. May the tangents have brought joy and compassion. Maybe that is the joy of the tangents.
There we go. Keep on stumbling, viewers, and listen for next week. See ya.
Blessings.